All right, welcome back to the Wise Guy Variety Show. Now, this is going to be recorded on Twitch for YouTube, and the name's changed on it. Now, everybody knows the Down the Sideline. It's still going to be the same thing, and to be quite honest with you, I really don't know how the hell to brand this video, but basically, every Monday nights, we've been streaming other games on Twitch. Just random other games, having fun, talking with the chat, doing what they do. We're also going to play some games and we'll continue the stream just because the simple fact that, we love recording it so much. So this is going to be a little bit different. You're going to see, you're not going to see it. You're going to hear our analysis of the one game and a little bit of stuff from the bowl games that are already over. But in the background, it's going to be just one of the games that we play.
Yeah, intro done.
Let's get on to the national championship game. Chef, you want to go first? You're being quiet.
Do you want to do national championship? Or you want to talk about our picks for the bowl games that we actually did pick? I was going to run down who all the games we had.
Dude, do your rundown, dog. I'll shut up. Listen, I've been drinking. It's going to be a good stream, okay?
All right, we had Army versus Navy. We did the show before their game, so we all know how that one turned out. We had Houston, Florida State, Northwestern Tennessee, Michigan, Florida, Notre Dame, Ohio State, Stanford, Iowa, Oklahoma State, Ole Miss, Oregon versus TCU, Oklahoma, Clemson, Michigan State, Alabama. The Houston, Florida State, out of us three, I was the only one that got that one right. Yeah, buddy. All the viewers got it right.
I tell you what, I watched that Houston team, and I'm pretty sure they're gonna lose a few people. That Houston team looked really good on defense against a pretty good Florida State team. Now, I didn't think that Florida was going to do a blowout. I figured Florida would win by like maybe a touchdown and a field goal, something like that. Houston looked really good during that game, and I was really, really impressed. I apologize to all the Houston faithful out there.
Yeah, it was a really good game. I was watching that. I was like, oh my gosh, Florida State almost came back and won that though. Like it was looking like it was getting out of hand, but they kept hitting the big plays that they needed to hit to stay in it. They just couldn't pull it out at the end. But it was a pretty good game for it being the group of five compared to a Power 5 team.
What was our next game?
Northwestern Tennessee. We all said that was going to be a defensive battle. Tennessee's offense just absolutely exploded, man. Dobbs, oh my gosh. That dude tore it up, man.
And then what's our next one? Was Michigan, Florida?
Yeah, Michigan, Florida. I mean, we all, like literally everybody on the show picked, like even the audience, even you guys on Twitch, picked Michigan. It was, when you don't have an offense, it's going to be kind of when you can't produce anything, it's going to be not on your favor. I mean, look at Northwestern. They didn't really have an offense either. Which
really is a shame because I really believe that Florida defense has the potential to really be a great defense, but it kind of gets to a point in the game to where I'm pretty sure everybody in the offense or on the defense goes, what the fuck are we even trying so hard for? We're not going to score any points on offense anyway.
It was like one of those, you just don't want it to. It was who was it? I was watching, I think NFL or something. It was like it's just so maybe it's the Cowboys, just so demoralizing. When everything that could go wrong went wrong, you couldn't do anything. So no matter how hard you played on defense, it wasn't going to matter. All right, our next one was Notre Dame, Ohio State. I was the lone Notre Dame fan in that game, and I was way wrong. I was hoping more people would get healed, but Notre Dame's been plagued with injuries since like week 1. Man, I mean they lost their starting quarterback, they lost some corners. Linebackers, like running backs, they had probably the worst luck out of everybody all year long on staying healthy. And they still made it to a big bowl game. They just couldn't finish out strong.
But I don't know. Even if they were healthy, I don't know that they have the talent matchup to match up with Ohio State. You think they do, Chef?
I think they do, man. Like if everybody that was like if their starters were there, I think they would have had a whole lot better of a shot, man. I mean, they lost one of their corners. I'm pretty sure it was a corner, maybe it was a receiver. Because he did that jump up and run into your teammate celebration in the end zone, like during the middle of the year, and like tore his ACL. Like I hate when people do that, but it's like one of those like they just couldn't have the luck. And their quarterback, the backup came in, did a good job. I'll give him props. He did enough to get them the win on numerous occasions. But the injuries, it's not like Ohio State where the third string quarterback comes in and dominates. It was we were like running thin on people to play and. Like, if they were to play full strength, both teams, I think it would be closer. I don't know if they would win, but it would be a lot closer than what the final score was of that game. All right, so on to the Stanford-Iowa game. What'd y'all think about that one?
I'm trying to figure out why the fuck I picked Iowa.
You and both Ope did. Did I said that right? You and Ope both did.
I don't know what I was thinking. I must have been like 3 or 4 beers deep during by the time we got to the end of that one.
Y'all were on the high of that Michigan State Iowa game is what it was.
Yeah, because I think that they came out and played like their season was already over with. I didn't watch a lot of this game. I watched quite a little bit of it, maybe half of it. They played like a team that had already lost from the beginning. I think it was kind of, not that they thought they were going to win the national championship, but I think, last year Ole Miss got blown out in their bowl game because it had injuries and they were just kind of depressed from where they were at. I think it seemed kind of the same way for Iowa.
But Ole Miss lost Treadwell. That's number 1 pick in next year's draft. Badass receiver.
Not the number 1 pick.
BroHawk, I meant he's the number 1 receiver coming out. I didn't mean number 1 overall. Fucking wide receiver's not going to be overall pick. You know that. So do I. So does everybody else. It's going to be a quarterback or a running back.
I watched a lot of that game, especially the start of it. Oh my gosh, man! They didn't kick it to McCaffrey, but the first play from scrimmage, man, he busted. That dude is freaking fast, man. Oh my gosh, he is so fast. All right, we were talking about Ole Miss, Oklahoma State, Ole Miss. Hope you had Oklahoma State. I figured Oklahoma State would fare better. I mean, for the first little bit, it was back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And then Ole Miss just turned it on, man. It was like, Mario, take that. Get wrecked.
That game was never back and forth.
It was for like the whole first quarter. It was like 6-3.
It was for the... Yep. I think neither team scored on their first drives.
Clemson, Oklahoma. I'm gonna come out and say after that game, Oprah texted and said, "Oh, he thought I was joking." I was serious. I thought Oklahoma was gonna beat him down. After that game, Clemson looks freaking scary, dude. Like, they were brutal, absolutely brutal in that game. Like, they got me doubting. They got me doubting for dang sure. Clemson looked real good in that game.
So let me ask you this then, Chev. Do you think the committee got it right with the way they finished the rankings?
I guess so. I guess they knew what they were talking about. I didn't see it. I really didn't. I figured Clemson was an ACC team that hadn't played anybody and they weren't going to do much whenever they got to some competition. But maybe that was Oklahoma. I mean, they did get beat by Texas.
Yeah, I think Oklahoma was. I think Clemson is just overmatched. You had those years that just a few years ago when Florida State won their first national title. They didn't play any close games until they played Auburn, and then they had to come back and win that one. But I think Clemson's just kind of on another level, especially where they're playing right now.
I think part of that, and this is my honest opinion, who has Oklahoma faced that's had a good defense, that's going to go and come out, and they're going to hit you in the mouth, and they're going to play good defense? Of all the teams they've played, there's not really one because they are the best defense in the Big 12. Dabo Swinney, dude's a hell of a coach. And I think they had him ready, Mayfield. He couldn't scramble. He couldn't do much of anything. They had him dead to rights. I seen Clemson play defense against somebody. I can't remember who the fuck they played, but I said it on one of our shows, and it was like the second, third, fourth week, somewhere around in there. And I said, look, I'm on the Clemson bandwagon. I said, their defense looks good. That team looks really, really good.
To me, it looked like Clemson wanted it more. Like, I know they weren't favored in the game, which I don't know how that's possible, that they were the underdog in this game, but they were going to prove that they were the better team. And OU thought maybe they thought it wasn't going to be like it was, but Clemson played like the team that wanted to win. And in the next game we're going to talk about, I don't think that the Michigan State Alabama. I don't think Alabama necessarily wanted it more. I think Michigan State just wasn't. To me, it didn't look like they were prepared to play that game because you had a month and you can't draw up any. You don't have any plays that you can get first downs on and pick at least score a single point in the game.
My opinion on that game is I figured Michigan State would be able to run the ball a little bit better than that, and that's why. During our last show, I was saying, okay, so with Oklahoma Clemson, we got two mobile quarterbacks. That'll be a better matchup for those two teams. And then kind of the Michigan State, Alabama, power on power matchup would be a better matchup for those two. I didn't think Alabama was going to blow them out. That was ridiculous. But the other thing I think is ridiculous, how in the fuck do you not cover Calvin Ridley on a jet route down the middle of the field? Like, I don't understand how Coker makes these passes. Like, I really, really don't. And I'm going to segue from saying that to going into the next one. Clemson can pick off some of those passes, turn those into points, and limit those kind of plays to Calvin Ridley and really, really make Alabama go, okay, well, we're behind by a touchdown and a field goal. We can't give it to Henry on every single play because all the clocks, we're going to run our own clock down. If they can limit that stuff, Clemson's got a chance to win. I think they can. I think they match up pretty good with Alabama.
What do you think, Chef?
Thought it was going to go how it did go. I picked Oklahoma and Alabama both big, and like Alabama just did it. I figured it'd be like, in reality, I figured Michigan State would provide more of a challenge to stop the run, to stop them in general. But I mean, it was just Alabama hit the big plays when they needed to, and Michigan State didn't, and it turned into a shutout. So, Mike, you said you were going to take who in the national championship?
I'm taking Clemson. I figured they probably have more speed than Michigan State on the defense, and probably team speed overall, because Oklahoma's a fast team, and Clemson looked faster than they did, and I'm probably pretty sure that Oklahoma's a faster team than Alabama is. Now, Alabama's probably stronger overall, but I think Clemson matched up better. I mean, they're going to play Watson. He's not going to stand in the pocket. If there's nobody downfield to throw, he's going to break off and make a few runs. And with the hurry-up offense, if they can keep running that hurry-up offense, maybe they can keep Nick Saban from substituting all these defensive linemen in there. And if we can get the front four tired, that's going to open up the running game with the running back and Watson. That's what I'm thinking. Dabo Sweeney, come on, man. You can do it, dude.
What do you got, Chef?
On a surprise, I'm actually going to take Clemson. And the reason why I'm picking them is because of the Oklahoma game. I figured Clemson's been overrated all season. They're not as good as they think they are. I mean, you got Deshaun Watson and then whoever on offense, and their defense has been playing good, but their defense has been playing against the ACC team, so not giving them much credit. They came out and absolutely demolished Oklahoma, like just ran them over play after play after play, offense, defense. It was brutal, dude. Oh my gosh. I was like, man, they're getting in their head because they're more physical. Now, I think it's going to be a good game. I really do. I think this is the game that I wanted, but with Oklahoma. But I think this is going to be a good battle. It's going to be a huge, whoever can last the longest by taking the most hits game. But I think Clemson is going to do it because you got Henry, and then if you shut down, who's it, Ridley, then you got a chance because, I mean, you're going to let Coker throw the ball. I mean, he did it last week, but can you do it 2 weeks in a row? Whereas
No. Don't forget about the SEC championship where he did it against Florida. Like, don't forget about all the deep passes. This is going to be like 3 games in a row. Like, come on now. Sorry to interrupt. I just had to say that.
I'm thinking Clemson's going to come out and, like Mike said, they just got something to prove, man. They've been the underdog all year. They haven't gotten the respect. It's kind of like Iowa. Most of the season when they were undefeated just didn't get the respect. But I think Clemson's got what it takes to back it up, even though I'm pretty sure I had Alabama playing for the national championship against USC. That didn't happen. In my original picks, I think Clemson's going to come out on top this week.
So like Dabo Sweeney says, Chef, BYOG, bring your own guts?
Yeah, I think they're going to come out because they're an underdog again. I think they started off with a 10-point or 7-point underdog to Alabama. It's like, really?
Did you tell your pick, Opie?
Not yet. I'm also going to take Clemson. And if you remember this Oklahoma game, I'm pretty sure, I know it was 2 for 9. I thought Deshaun Watson started out passing 2 for 11 with an interception. Looked really bad in the beginning. And then he said, okay, it's time to play football. But here's why I'm picking them. In this game against Oklahoma, Wayne Gallman, which is the running back, and Deshaun Watson had combined for 50 carries for 195 yards. They run a very similar style, and you're not going to like this, Mike, that Baylor runs. They run the read option, hurry up, and then try to hit you with the deep ball. And it's a very similar offense, and I think that's what is going to really be hard for Alabama to stay up with, because that read option, when you got a guy that can actually run it, is really tough to defend. And Deshaun Watson, I think, is the real deal. I don't think it's close. I think it'll be close to the score of I think Alabama will score more than OU did, but I think Clemson scores more than they did against OU.
I'm already ready for next year. I'll just be honest with everybody. Like I'm already ready for I'm already ready to go back to sit down with Opie, watch the Baylor fucking spring game. Gold versus green. I'm ready.
We're going to go watch that again together?
Basically, I'm just going to come to your house and get drunk. I don't want to watch that game. That's going to conclude with a bunch of C's.
How much have you had to drink?
That's going to do it for the college football analysis by the professionals, myself, Chef, and Opie. And we're looking forward to it next year when college football starts up, and you can guarantee that we're going to be back talking more shit, talking about college football. I appreciate everybody watching, and the analysis of college football. We'll see you when it starts next season.
Later, guys.
Deuces.
Toodles.